Welcome to your first video of Chapter 3. Today is Section 1, which is Identify Pairs of Lines and Angles. You should be on pages 5 and 6 in your packet. Today's objective is to identify angle pairs formed by three intersecting lines. So today, because it's the start of a chapter, is going to be a whole lot of definitions. So of course we're going to start out with definitions. Parallel lines are lines which do not intersect. Okay, and the way that you show that two lines are parallel would be A parallel to B. And remember, parallel lines look like this, so they're not going to intersect. The way that you show that they're parallel is by the little arrows. Okay, skew lines are lines which do not intersect. But they have to be in different planes. So right now that's kind of difficult for me to draw, so we're going to wait until we get to our example. Parallel planes, as you can guess, are planes that do not intersect. And then perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form a right angle. Okay, so those are all definitions you should probably know besides the skew lines. I know that one's new. So let's look down at example 1. It's asking you to give an example of all those words that I just defined. So example 1, a pair of parallel lines. Well, if you look at line AB, this line, it's going to be parallel to CD. They're in the same plane and they don't intersect. Okay, AB would also be parallel to EF and to GH. Okay, a pair of skew lines. This time AB, there's no skew symbol, but it's going to be skew with FG. So as you can tell, those are not going to intersect, but AB is on this plane up here, and FG is on this plane down here. So they're on different planes, and they won't intersect. Parallel planes would be those two planes that I just drew in. So plane ABC and plane EFG. Remember, you only need 3 letters to name a plane. And then an example of perpendicular lines, again, if we just stick with our example of AB, perpendicular to AB would be AE. This will be a right angle here. So AB would be perpendicular to AE. Remember to put a line over the top with arrows. They would also be perpendicular to BF. So hopefully that was stuff we already knew. Okay, we have two postulates, the parallel postulate and the perpendicular postulate. Okay, so the parallel postulate says, given any line and a point on that line, there exists exactly one line parallel through the given point. Okay, so let's see if we can draw an example. Given any line and a point, oh, this should say not on that line. Okay, so given a line and a point not on that line, there exists exactly one line parallel through the given point. So there's only one line that's going to be parallel to that first line, and that goes through that point. Okay, perpendicular postulate is exactly the same, except instead of the word parallel, it's going to be the word perpendicular. So, given any line and a point not on that line, there exists exactly one line perpendicular through the given point. So in this example again, if we keep the same point and the same line, there's going to be only one perpendicular through that line, or through that point. Okay, so let's move on to page 6. Okay, now here's the really important part of section 1. This is stuff that we're going to use for the entire rest of the chapter, so it's important that we know this. A transversal is a line that intersects two other lines. So in this figure, this one is a transversal. It intersects the two lines that appear to be parallel. Okay, transversals form 4 different types of angles. The first type is corresponding angles, which I say are in the same position. So looking at angle A, that's above this line and to the left of the transversal. So then go to the other line, above it to the left of the transversal would be E. So A and E are corresponding. By the same reasoning, D then, below the line to the right of the transversal, will be corresponding with H, below and to the right. Likewise, B will go with F, and C will go with G. Next, you have alternate interior angles. Okay, so alternate means different sides of the transversal. Interior means between the two lines. So I'm going to erase what I did before. Okay, so if we look at our two lines here, all the points that are in the interior are those two and these two. Now alternate interior means they're on different sides of the transversal. So that would be C, F, left side, right side, and then D, E. Okay, next we have alternate exterior. Okay, so those are different sides of the transversal again, but they're exterior angles, they're outside. So the exterior angles in this case would be AB and GH. So the alternate exterior would be AH. A is on the left side, H is on the right side of the transversal. And then the other one would be BG. B is on the right and G is on the left. Last type is consecutive interior. Okay, so consecutive interior, well, the consecutive means same side of the transversal. And then the interior means that it's between the two lines. Okay, so erasing everything that we did before over here. Okay, in between the two lines, C, D, and E, F. So the consecutive interior would be C, E, because they're both on the left side of the transversal, and then D, F, because they're both on the right side of the transversal. So as you will notice, corresponding angles always have 4 pairs. The other three types, alternate interior, alternate exterior, and consecutive interior, all are going to have two pairs. Okay, let's look at example 2. It says, identify all pairs of angles of the given type. I'm going to start you out. So corresponding, they're in the same spot. So 1 and 5 would be corresponding. They're both above the transversal and then to the left of their specific lines. Okay, for part A, you should have 4 answers total. Parts B, C, and D, you should have 2 for each. So right now, pause the video and see if you can fill in the rest of these, please. Okay, you should have had enough time to try this one on your own. The other pairs of corresponding should have been 2 and 6, 3 and 7, and 4 and 8. Alternate interior would have been 2 and 7. They're both inside the 2 lines on opposite sides of the transversal. And then 4 and 5. Alternate exterior would have been 1 and 8, opposite sides of the transversal, and then outside of the 2 lines, and then 3 and 6. Last one's consecutive interior would have been 2 and 5, and 4 and 7. So hopefully you got those 2 right. If not, hopefully now you see what mistake you made. So let's move down. Example 3 is our last example. So we're going to have to classify the pairs of angles. In this first example, the top left, we have one angle that's above and to the left. The other angle is above and to the left. So they're in the same spot on the 2 different lines. So these are corresponding angles. Right now, you pause the video and do the other 2, please. Okay, this one to the right. Our first angle is to the right of the transversal. Our second angle is to the left of the transversal. So different sides, it's going to be alternate. They're outside of the 2 lines, so these are called alternate exterior angles. This one, 5 is to the left, 4 is to the right, so opposite sides of the transversal, it's going to be alternate. They're sandwiched in between the 2 lines, so these are alternate interior angles. Hopefully you got those 2 right. If not, hopefully you see the mistake that you made. That's the end of this video. If you have any questions, please bring them to class. When you come to class, we will be doing some practice. Thank you.